What's going on, Ultra Buddies? We're back. Reveals. This time it is the Max episode. Last time you got Belial. This time we get Max. Why don't you tell us this one?
So finally have Ultraman Max, maximum cannon,
The fastest, the
newest,
strongest.
fastest, strongest, triple R. Really interesting effect that fits here. So as a single or double, when this character is in the round 1 battle area, give it plus 2000, and its BP grade increases by 1. When it's in the round 2 battle area, plus 1000, and BP grade increases by 1. When it's in the round 3 battle area, its BP grade just increases by 1. So 19k in lane 1 as a double, 18k in lane 2 as a double, still 17k in lane 3 as a double. Really strong.
And then
early
totally useless after that.
Yeah.
But very, very strong. 19,000 lane 1 double. Ooh, we've never seen something quite like this. I will say, I wish maybe it's like the programmer bit, that it's like, I wish he would just say, like, if it was like in rounds 1 through 3 battle areas, get just plus BP grade up, and then if it's round 1, I guess it's like, do we have to say give it BP grade ups 3 times?
Yeah, you could have,
but that I feel like that's
as 2
more
effects, but
confusing. I don't know. Like, this is a lot more words, but I feel like it's easier to read, especially for like maybe people who can't break it out, like aren't used to breaking it out into 2 effects, or are newer to card games. So okay, that aside, this card's pretty crazy, right?
I think when we first saw this, there were a lot of questions on what is the best way to play this. Because if you play this by itself, right, if you play a double in lane 1, that means you skip your draw, like level 1, which is, to me, a big problem.
Right, I agree.
Very difficult to keep the momentum going if you're not really drawing a lot of cards.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. So it definitely felt like the thing we immediately reached for is like swaps, which Tiga is definitely the front runner of swap cards. Decker has some swap, could be there. And then there's some other things where, like, maybe you can get a little funky with it with like Blazar, where you can get rid of the bottom later. Might be a little too much work, but we'll see. And but yeah, I think there's not that much to say about this. It's just like, it's 19 in lane 1, 18 in lane 2, 17 in lane 3. It's just really solid. It's just what decks are going to be able to like really juice it. And I think it will help understand a little bit what decks can really use it by seeing the next card, which is the Scene. A round 2 Scene, activate once per turn. Choose one of your double or triple max. Put that chosen max into the hand. So that means is you take the whole stack, you add it back to your hand. It doesn't mean take the top, or it doesn't mean just take the top or whatever. You take that whole battle area, the whole stack, put it back to your hand. And then if you do, using cards from your hand, you put a double max back into play in that spot. And then if you pulled a triple back to your hand, you give the max that you played plus 2000. So there's a lot going on there. If you're familiar with Champion of the Fierce Fight from Mebius, it is very similar. It just uses your hand instead of the discard. But yeah, so if you can, this kind of solves one of the problems that you just mentioned, which is if you play the level 1, you're missing out on the level 1. If you play as a double, you miss out on the level 1, and then it feels really bad as a triple. Well, now you can play as a triple and then bring them all back into your hand, and then play it as a double to get the maximum effect, and actually plus 2,000 more. So it's a 21,000 in lane 1. So big moves there. I think this definitely was like, people were like, oh, I don't really understand how are we going to play Max. How is it going to be? And then this card was like, ooh, Max might be sick, right? What other like shenanigans have you thought of with Proof of Braveness?
Yeah, so I think with this one, my biggest worry for Max in the beginning was like, you have to have a level 2 Max in your starting hand, and then you if you're going to play level 2 Max in lane 1, you better get the triple R Max pretty fast.
Yeah.
So it all like felt like it was too much of a issue of like getting that perfect starting hand. Whereas like Ginga to me is like very similar to this card, where you play really powerful doubles, but they have some criteria to set up.
Yeah.
But with this one now, you could have a level 2, or ideally 1, 2, 3. But even if you had just a random level 2 max, and you're playing more maxes, You have to level up so you don't lose the game. Maybe you just put an uncommon max. You can always later use this and fix it into the triple R at a later stage.
Right.
And another one is the combo I'm actually really looking forward to, because we haven't seen the level 2 max yet. Is if you have a double, you can take it back and play the same double back. So if it has a really good on play, you could just be recycling 2 cards every turn, or you could be doing a scene search every turn, or whatever that level 2 is. If there's any really good max on plays that work as a double, even like if there's an uncommon level 3 that has like a crazy effect that's like an on play double, you're just going to be able to keep recycling that effect in and get extra mileage from it.
Yeah, and we've seen that kind of, like I mentioned, with Champion of the Fierce Fight with the banned uncommon Mebius, where you can play it, get plus 2,000, and then exile it, play a new one, get plus 2,000 again. Just like, ooh. And so you'll be able to do something like that with Max potentially, but we just need to see more Max cards. I think it also gives you a lot more flexibility when playing Max, because you can play a 1-2 Max and then flip it into a 2-3 Max. Which means that you can like I could play, I don't know, just throwing out an example here is, if I really need the draws on turn 2, I play like a level 1 max, then my opponent also needs a draw, so maybe they also play that. So then I might still have lead, and then I can play this scene, and then I can play the level 2 on top of it, and then boom, flip it into 2-3 to kind of like win that lane almost guaranteed the next turn. So there'll be a lot of interesting plays.
You can also, like, if you know you've got scene and the game's not ending anytime soon, you can actually have a 2-3 max.
Yeah.
You can go back to a 1-2 max and get an extra draw or whatever. And the following turn, you can play the level 3 again and then go back to the 2-3.
I didn't think
about
about
a lot
that.
of cycles. And it happens all within one turn. As long as you like don't lose the scene between now and then.
Yeah.
You can do a cycle within a turn. I'm pretty sure Max cannot get a triple R level 2 in any near future, because then that would
that'd be so crazy.
Being able to just recycle that. But there's a lot of really fun ways you could just recycle these effects.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. That's really cool. I mean, so speaking of the cool combos, I think one thing that I've been dying to try with Mebius, that Champion of the Fierce Fight, that I never really got around to, partially because I think you have all our Mebius cards, was with Tiga, which we already mentioned is really good for the swapping. With the power type Tiga, you can BP decrease one of your max cards now, and then BP grade up your Tiga, and then you can bounce that max out and then bring it back. And it essentially, because it counts as a new stack, it clears the debuff. And that actually might be a great way to, like, you have a 2-3 max, and then you play the power type Tiga in the front lane to keep lead, and then bring it down to a 1-2, because you won't lose because you have I don't know. Yeah. So there's going to be really interesting.
You can clear your own self debuffs, or like if I don't know if this is the right time for it, but if we have a max heavy deck and you're playing against Omega, this card effectively just
cancels out Valvenis. Yeah. Oh, so
Valvenis, put it back in exactly how it was before, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, even then, it's like really nice, because Omega would kind of struggle to like beat the 19,000 in lane 1.
Yeah.
And so, like, if they want to win that lane, they kind of have to BP grade decrease it, and then you can just yoink. Okay, I think that's enough max glazing. I'm very excited to see more cards. We still have not seen the level 2. I think, honestly, no matter what it be, unless it's like a scene destroyed, that's like the only one that like would be really bad.
Oh yeah,
that's the only one that would be like, oh, we can't abuse this. But if it's a scene search, if it's a swap, that would be crazy. If it got a Tiga swap, Tiga Decker type level 2 swap, that would be insane. Really anything. But I think the scene, like, Trigger has a level 2 scene destroy, like anything but that, please. All right, let's move on to the card that I think blew most people's minds. But we have some opinions, okay? Get ready for hot takes. If the perfect light form. Okay, so the OG cell, right? Level 6, 10,000, 15,000, single or double. an effect type we've never seen before. When this character's battle opponent resolves an activate effect, okay, you may have this character's battle be a win for this turn. This card's insane. Okay. It wins no matter what. What do you get? How do you beat this card? It doesn't. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, this maybe will be a hot take, but like, you just don't activate your effect.
What?
And
you can't not activate your effect
if you're greater than 10k. So I think one thing to think about is like every card that has an activate effect are primarily level 3s. I can't think of any level 2s that haven't activate off the top of my head. Pretty much just level 3s, and if it's a single, it's already losing. And any double,
and it can't activate its effect because there's no single activates.
So any double level 3 is actually beating this without its ability in play already. And if gets a double, like level 5, then yeah, 15k would maybe beat that. But then also any level 3 triple will also beat this. So just pure numbers, the activate card would be winning. So yeah, just don't activate your effect. Or if your activate wins 2 other lanes, it's just yeah. What are your thoughts?
I know I pretty much agree with you. I just try to do it for the content, doing it for the music. Like it is a pretty crazy effect to be able to like automatically win this character's battle, but I think the practicality of it is actually really bad because, like you said, 10,000 is not beating anything that matters that has an activate. And if you play it as a double too early, then they can kind of just dodge that lane, or like if they played a level 2, they could just dodge that lane, or they can play something that will be able to contest it somewhere else, or they build a triple and then you just lose this anyway. And then also most decks don't. I mean, I would say, like in my experience, maybe this is changing a little bit, but a lot of decks are playing their activates in like the first 2 lanes as triples for the most part, and so you're like really, really praying that you like randomly hit their activate as a 2/3 double, as you play this, and you also play this card as a double. So yeah, it feels a little weird. It feels like you can get people in awkward spots, but most likely if you just like have a card that wins that lane normally or something like that, it could just win. I will say, I'm trying to think if there's like some funky stuff you could do. Okay, you could do some funky stuff with the next card, maybe. But yeah, it seems a little too awkward to work, or like a little too, I hope I catch them playing a certain type of play.
I think there are some very niche scenarios where it can get very annoying to the opponent, but it's a bit too much set up for a very specific scenario where if your opponent is able to think on their feet, like you said, they can just pivot and move their triple somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or they would have to kind of like foolishly activate it and force themselves to lose when they could probably just not activate that effect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it feels like, I don't know. It's weird because it feels like you'd want to play at lane 1 where most activates are, but then it'll just lose to the triple. And then any other time after that, you're kind of gambling that like they play the certain card, and it doesn't feel like a good gamble. Like we've played a lot of like Belial versus Ginga. Like I know you want the round 3 scene. I know your best way to get the round 3 scene is usually a Ginga double, which has a BB grade increase. So I can kind of expect that if I play an anti BB grade up Zeton there, it'll probably work out for me, right? Like there's some sort of level, like layers of prediction of like what the opponent wants to do. And with this, it's like, well, I don't know what there's no like way to really lean into that, I think, with this card. Anyway,
I think a weird thing is just that like I wish something was flipped about this card, because usually if you have an activate, that activate will do one of 2 things. One, it'll get you resources or cards or something, which is like good, or the activate will help this lane win more, which like we talked about, you don't really need activate, or this activate will help you win another lane. And I think in that situation, it's still worth activating, because even if this lane loses, the other lane wins, and that's a 1-to-1 trade.
Yeah.
But more importantly, like we said, if you're putting this in an earlier lane, you're helping a later lane win, which is probably more important in terms of like getting lead or scenes or all those things.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a piece missing, I think, from this to really make it like not just be a nuisance to the opponent's strategy, but to really like block out
Okay.
key parts of it.
I might run it back with this card.
Mhm.
And only because I could see myself building a deck that really likes to play from next player, but has a lot of powerful activates. And then if I have something like this in lane 1 that they've kind of like, I don't know, if they like walk into, or like they have no choice or whatever, and or like I catch someone with this, then because they're the lead player and they have to activate first, then I basically get to like catch them in a spot where it's like, okay, like you're gonna lose because I have activates that are gonna win my other lanes, and you can't, like, your guy's locked down, right? Like I'm winning 3, and the other one is this one, and you just have no choice because you can't activate it because I'll still be winning 3. Yeah, that's like I think that's the only way you can kind of like catch people with it. But is it gonna work? I don't know. We'll see. I think we've talked enough about this card. Let's move on to arguably the most powerful card, the most insane card of this episode, which is the new Ultraman Geed Galaxy Rising.
Yes.
Just a rare, but hear us out. Garkin's been playing a lot of Geed, so why don't you read this one for us?
Yeah, so this one, it's a level 3 Geed as a double or triple. When this character enters play, you may discard one card from your hand, and if you do, give one of your characters plus 2,000 BP for this turn. I think this last part's super interesting to me because it's not even just give one of your Ultra Heroes plus 2,000. It's a character, which means like that we could come back to this card in the future if you mix it in with Kaijus
that's
or
what I was saying
Ultraman.
with if you can make it like a 17 or a 12. Anyway, we're done with this.
So like there's still more I want to think about with this card. Like, oh, if you're playing Zetons in your G deck, well, now you can make them 11Ks. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Or Ultramax if there's. I don't think there's an Ultramech that would really go with G, but you can like do all these crazy things, and you can make your other Gs plus 2,000. And to be honest, when we were doing some proxy testing with this, I thought this was make this card plus 2,000, and I already thought it was a great card, and it's only gotten better with like me actually reading the rules.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy card. I think it actually fixes. So the G triple rare, which if you guys don't remember, it lets you essentially pick sometimes up to two Gs, so one of each type. Like reveal 2, pick up one of each type. That fixes the main issue that Jeed had of just like towards the end of the game when you're hitting turns 5, you're just running out of cards. You just don't have cards to play things, and that hurts a lot. But the G deck also has 2 other glaring issues, which this card fixes in one card, which is pretty crazy. The first is that it didn't have any like extremely strong plus BP effects. Like you had Jeed Claw, but it's a 16,000 triple. You really don't want to be building it as a triple if you can't afford it. And so your only ways to activate that or building it as a triple, maybe just losing the 16,000 anyway, and then hopefully that plus 1,000 works. Or having Royal Mega Master and then having the 14,000 Jeed Claw in the field and giving plus 1,000, which is your ideal play, right? That's your ideal method. So this Galaxy Rising gives you the plus 2,000 BP for discarding a card, which now you have plenty of cards because of the new triple rare. And the other issue it fixes is that there was no cards in the G deck that you really wanted to kind of like transition from a triple to a quad. So if you're trying to build to the Royal Mega Master, you do not want to be playing over your own Magnificent, especially if it's the only Magnificent you have. You would be more okay going over Jeed Claw, but the Jeed Claw being 16 means you're probably going to, like, you are at risk of losing on turn 3 because you have played a 16k in lane 1. And so this kind of gives you a way to bid a 19 in lane 1 and then that helps you transition safely to Royal Mega Master. So this card is just like, it does it all.
This is easily a cheat you're going to want to run maybe as many copies as possible. I mean, you could play it as a 15k double, you could play it as a 19k single, you could play it as a 17k triple, and then fix one of your other lanes to win lead. So many options, and that discarding card, I mean, you don't have to if you find that opportunity where, hey, if I discard this and they played an 18k in lane 1 and well, this is a 19k, I win the game, that card's worth it always.
Yeah, for sure. And it also happens to be a good typing, because the other Galaxy Rising from the start deck is also power types. You're already playing power types, so you have lots of power types for the Magnificent. It's just like, this card crazy. Okay, let's move on from Jeed. I think we're hyping up Jeed like crazy, which it well deserved, I think, right? So moving on, we have Decker. Speaking of power types, strong type Decker. So I'm pretty excited for this because it's power type, which is very good. Decker already has a power type searcher, and it is a single or double. It's a return to draw up to two, return up to 2, draw up to 2, and then classic stat line. And this, I think, is a super sneaky strong card for Decker. Like, it doesn't seem like, it's just another one of these. But Decker is, first of all, it's like kind of reliant on the specific setups, but also because it already has the card that's like reveal top 3 for a power arm type and then discard a card if you grab one. It then also has this, like, as a mono deck, it's already got, everything's Decker, so you got a lot of consistency. And then you've got these 2 cards that add even more consistency to that. So I think Decker is going to be like Mr. Consistent. Any thoughts else on this?
I think, it's going to help with that consistency will be really important with setting up just a strong Decker field. I think it's a power type, it's a strong type, so it fits all of the other effects, which is always good. And if you don't have any more thoughts on the card itself, I actually have some thoughts on what this card reveal means for Decker as a whole this set.
Okay. I only have one more comment, and it's not really about the card. I'm hoping you can help enlighten me about something. So I have seen many times on Twitter /X or on like Japanese like note tournament reports, they refer to these cards like, they don't actually refer to these cards like this, but the machine translation refers to these cards as muscle draws. And I don't know why. And I think it's funny. And I would love to call these cards muscle draws for like the meme. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was really funny.
I haven't read it.
I'd probably have to like look at the kanji and try to.
I'd have to look at that too. I haven't played enough Japanese Ultraman since like these effects were becoming more common.
Sure.
There are like common terms that like we say scene search or we say like reveal 3, exactly. 2 bot. Like there are some common terms I don't recall off the top of my head, but I know that the Japanese players have terms for these words.
Yeah.
But if muscle draw is the term for this, that's really funny.
Let's just call it muscle draw because I got nothing better, and I can't keep saying, "Oh yeah, it's another return to up to 2 from your hand to draw 2 cards." And yeah, so Decker got a muscle draw. Wonderful. So you were talking about what this means for Decker.
Yeah. So we were really wondering for the longest time, like, are we going to see 5 level 3 triple Rs and 3 level 2 triple Rs, or will we see a 4/4? And when we saw the level 1 Decker getting revealed, we were thinking that Decker would get a level 2 triple R, which kind of made sense to me because Decker already has 2 level 3 triple Rs. So now I'm wondering, does this mean Decker is like, we thought Decker would be the final triple R?
Yeah, I definitely
kind of have doubts on that now because
there's no way now, right? There's no way it gives him 2. That'd be weird.
Yeah, so it like this is the level 2 slot. So then will Decker really get another level 3 triple R? It just got one. That's kind of a stretch. So maybe there's still a surprise in store.
Yeah, it does. That's true. It does open up some questions because I thought like when they revealed Decker, I was like, oh yes, Decker's getting the level 2 triple rare because like they had kind of like a Belial and Jeed both got one and they're kind of related, right?
Yeah.
And then like Dinah and Decker, they kind of are related in a way, from like at least from a game standpoint. I don't really know about the lore standpoint. So I was like, oh, it makes sense. There's Dinah and Decker, and there's Belil and Jeed, and now I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. So I think now we're kind of on the hunt again to see what will that last slot be. Like it could be Avenger. I doubt it.
That would be crazy.
But it could be like another character that we haven't seen a lot of stuff yet. I mean, there's like a good majority of the cards have not been revealed, so that might be that could be the next video
surprise one. It could be, true. I mean, Z, I think we know is in the set, so that's like definitely a card we're waiting for. And I feel like now that Decker didn't have the triple rare, I have no guesses. I've seen some people guess like the turtle armor for Omega, since like the season is also ending, and then like, but like
possible, but
3 sets of Omega is crazy, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it would make Omega really strong if you gave it like a level 2 triple R. I don't know if I want to see that, but but I mean, there's stuff like Nexus. I don't remember. Did they reveal any Nexus cards this set? I forgot.
No,
like,
they haven't revealed any Nexus set.
X?
Is it X?
It could be X.
It's gonna be X.
It could be a level 2 X that fixes all your problems.
Yeah, it could be a level 2 X that says when this character enters play, you lose this lane. It would be perfect. Okay, let's move on to our other Decker card. Super simple but incredibly strong. For each Decker you have, give this character plus 1000 BP. So we're talking, and because of the Decker's just like automatic BP grade up, it's probably always going to be a 7000 when you play it as a single, which means on turn 5 it's a 12,000 as a level 1. Crazy. It really helps fix like the issue where like sometimes you just draw not a very strong card. Like, even in Decker, it's like, well, I drew a level 1. Like, oh, it's 9,000. Sometimes your opponent has like a double, but like now they might have a double that loses to a 12,000. So very good. Not much to say.
Way more consistent. It's going to be really strong.
More consistent. Yeah, Mr. Consistent. And I'll let you read our last card for today, Gankun.
Yeah, so it's Avenger. It's a level 2 uncommon, so nothing too fancy here. This one, when a scene enters play, you may give this character plus 1000 for the turn. It's kind of like getting that Gil Arc treatment. Might not be a good thing, though.
That is not a good thing. That this card got a clone of the Gil Arc card.
So we still have the rares that haven't been revealed, so there's still hope. Like the level 2 could be a scene search, that's fine, but level 3 might be something fancy.
Yeah, I think the 3 is what we're waiting on. It's not looking too hot for Sevenger having the Gil Arc effect. You know, that's not exactly a character you want to be associated with.
But try to maybe be optimistic and pick this card apart more. Like it. So scenes entering play, I guess Z kind of plays a good amount of scenes as it is now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a hint towards the new card doing more with scenes.
Okay.
Or it's Avenger doing more with scenes.
True.
Because its scene is what, discard a card and give an Ultraman plus 1000. Maybe Avenger's triple R will be a arc, like BP1 arc.
Yeah.
On play, if you have a round 1 scene in your hand, reveal it. That would be kind of crazy.
That would be cool. I could get behind that. Yeah, I'm not very hopeful. I'll be a pessimist on this one. All right, thank you for joining us for the Ultraman Max episode. But secretly, the best card here is this Jeed, which is insane. Decker's going to be good. Max, I mean, we still haven't seen the level 2. That's going to be a big. We're waiting on a lot of big reveals. I feel like we're waiting on the last triple rare. Is it going to be level 3? Is it going to be level 2? What is Max's level 2 going to be? And if you watched the last reveal episode, what is Darklops going to do? There's so many questions. You'll have to subscribe and tune in next week to find out. Bye.
Yeah, bye.